Hey, Shalom, Shalom. It's the brother Abayi Buff in the DC Church, coming at you, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemel Shah, Bashem Papa Gosh, Yahweh and Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shah, be whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Bashem in the name, call me the Spirit, Kadosh me the Holy. These are the names and the powers that I come to you in order to profess the 100% truth, the Lord's will seal the elect's faith. Shani Kabaga will recall you number eighth, meaning double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS. In these times, whom the Heavenly Father had enlisted the 100% truth to, and Shalom, Barak, and Levikan, Shah, Allah, peace and blessings be upon the elect of the nation of Israel. And to the men out there that's pushing this word and sincerity and the truth to you, I say Shalom, Barak, and Thumb, peace and blessings be upon you. Now, without further ado, just wanted to make a quick video. I had a thought in my head, and I just wanted to put it out there, not for myself only, but also for Akim, because something I found in life that really helps with productivity is routine. And when you have a routine, you have certain goals that need to be met within each and every day. And within that happening, you may be on the same routine for so long that you're not seeing results, or you're not seeing productivity. And from time to time, you need to switch up your routine, because the thing is, the scriptures talk about how, we go through many different seasons in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, right? So being the fact that we go through many different seasons, not every season is going to require the same subset of tasks. We're going to have different tasks that are required of us to do or to fulfill within every different season. And a lot of times that switches up, that changes, and the requirement always gets higher for us when it pertains to doing things regarding the gospel, and that's part of the reason why our routine is going to have to switch up a little bit. All right, and within that routine and switching up that routine, I will also say something that helps a lot is writing down things, writing down the things that you need, the things that you want, the things you desire, and having goals within your routine to actually get to. And it's something I've noticed about myself when I'm not goal oriented, when I don't have essentially a finish line to get to, I start getting real laxed, stop working out, getting too damn comfortable, man. And for us who are true servants of Yahweh Shemel Shai, anytime we're in a position where we're too comfortable, or, we're doing too much things that are involved in the world, it's just a very, very, very deeply uncomforting feeling, because we know that where we're at is a danger zone. Satan can do things, he can make moves, and you won't necessarily be prepared. And it's not that you won't be prepared, it's that, it's kind of like Satan is catching you off guard. But you're putting yourself in that position where you're being off guard. And that's the issue. And that's why when you start to see these certain patterns within your life, being around certain people causes you to be off guard, or to have your guard down a little bit more for a little longer, or doing these things could potentially cause you to be a little bit more laxed. You have to be willing to check yourself. You have to be willing to analyze that, hey, there's a problem, there's an issue, there's something there that needs to be fixed and tailored, so that, I'm keeping myself prepared for when Satan tries to try me. And you gotta remember that the scriptures say in 1 Peter, the 5th chapter, that 5 and 8, Satan walketh about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. So Satan's just looking for opportunities to pull the rug from under you, and just inconvenience you at all costs. And if we know that that's our adversary and that that's how he moves, then shit, we got to prepare. We got to make sure that we're doing the right thing so that we can identify the patterns in which Satan moves. And the only way for you to identify the patterns in which Satan moves is you have to make sure that you're spending time by yourself fasting. Because you got to think about it. When you isolate yourself, things have to come to you. Whatever things come to you, now you're able to analyze it. Oh, okay, this person is doing so-and-so, and why does this look like that? And, oh, my expenses are going toward this. And you start realizing things. You can see things clearly. But when you're in the world, you're just focused on being in that rat race. But when you fast, it's like you're kind of pulling yourself out of the world, not putting things in your body, not exposing yourself to certain things like social media, probably women or music, or things that would cause pleasure. You know, you're not allowing yourself to indulge in pleasure, right? Furthermore, you know, you're able to just spectate a lot more on the things that are going on in your life, so that you're able to tailor things to make sure that you're putting yourself in a position to where you're prepped for when Satan comes to tempt you, because he's going to do it inevitably. We are men of the Lord, you know, so you got to expect that. You got to have an expectation for Satan to come fuck with you. It's just what it is. Just pray that, you know, we're in a position where we're always wielding off Satan, because sometimes we get demonically influenced. Just calling it all the way straight. You as a righteous man can fall under demonic possession, and you will not even know it. And you're doing things that are demonic, and you're exuding demonic behavior, but because you're not isolating yourself and giving yourself enough time to recognize Satan and to wield off Satan, you're falling by the wayside by him, you know. Just be mindful of how this dude works. But the fact of the matter is, what I'm getting at is, you gotta switch up your routine. You gotta switch up your routine sometimes, because you could be too lax doing the objectives that you're doing right now, and those objectives could potentially not be working towards productivity in this specific season that you're in. So you got to get accustomed to feeling, you know, you got to target new muscles. You didn't hit the biceps 20 times this week, you know. How about the triceps? And there's smaller muscle fibers that you need to focus on. Like there's muscles in our wrist, you know. There's muscles in our forearm. There's other muscles that can be targeted that will improve and enhance your lifting ability. But it only happens through, you know, exercising those specific muscles. And I'm speaking metaphorically because the same concept is carried within the truth and within building spiritual strength. Sometimes building spiritual strength involves exposure, and then sometimes building spiritual strength involves avoidance. And I hope that makes sense. You know, there's some things that you're going to avoid, and there's some things that you're going to expose yourself to. But you have to have discernment to understand which one is which and what part does it play, you know, and furthermore, what to apply that to, you know. But a routine switch is necessary, because you're not going to keep facing the same adversaries. You're not going to keep fighting the fight that you fight every day. you know, you go through seasons and things change. So if things are changing, if things are constantly revolving around you, you know, what you had that worked constantly before, you know, you got to set yourself to the new challenge to come up with the routine practically every month, you know, and that's what I'm starting to figure out in my life. Maybe not for you. Maybe you got to come up with a routine every 3 months. Who knows? But for myself, I'm seeing that, you know, every month brings a new challenge for myself. So I need to wrap my daily objectives around that, you know? Because I say this too. When the Lord is putting you on a different time frame, because your schedule, your work schedule plays a major part within your availability. And your availability plays a part within the building up of your Heavenly Father's flock. All of these things match. So, being that that's the fact, you got to take note of when the Heavenly Father is switching the season for you. If your availability switches. You know, some brothers may start working weekends, and some brothers may work overnight. If you're working overnight, that means your availability is changing. But if your availability is changing, that means you need to switch up your routine so that you can get certain things done and make sure that you're prioritizing getting the spiritual work in. Okay? You can't keep going 2 or 3 weeks, 2 to 4 to 5 weeks, only putting up one video. You got to put up some numbers. You got to show the Lord I give a fuck, and I want to be saved. I hate Esau. If you hate Esau, then hey, look, you can make a video every other fucking day talking about how much you dislike Esau. If you want the kingdom of heaven, you could, one precept, that's all it takes. Expound on that one precept, 5-minute video. I want the kingdom of heaven. Part 1, part 2, all the way to part 144. Okay? But you gotta make sure that you're tailoring what you're doing in your actual life to make sure that that's accomplishable. You know? And really, I'm saying all these things and I'm cut by it. But shit, that's what this whole ministry is about. It's about, you know, putting it on wax so that you make sure you stick to it your damn self. And if you acknowledge a problem and you see a problem, then fix it. Put some effort in, put some work in to fix it. You know? And pray to the Heavenly Father above all things that He give you the strength and He give you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in order to perform such. You know? But that was practically all I had to say regarding this topic. You know, probably name it switch your routine based on your season. Adjust your routine based on your season. I think that sounds a lot better. And the thing is, we as men, we have to have routine. Like, we have to. It's like just like children. Children have to have tasks, which they're responsible for fulfilling, because it gives them purpose. We all need purpose within what we're doing, so that we feel fulfilled day to day, and there we can see progression. You know. But that was it. With that, I give all praise and honor to Yahweh Shema Shabbat Shema Kagadashi Kabak Allah Rakazi Queen Abba Aitham Shalom Baraka Makan Shadasha Allah to the next time I